Salam my dude, SaiyanSalamander here, and welcome to my Sinnoh remake wishlist. At the time of recording this video, Sinnoh is yet to be confirmed, but with rumours running rampant, Diamond & Pearl remakes are what I think the majority of people think will be the next thing for the main titles of the series. Pokemon Diamond was the very first Pokemon game I ever owned, so I have a special attachment to Gen 4. And while I haven't really liked the last couple gens, I'm excited for a potential remake of one of my favourite games in the series. This was supposed to be my top 5 wishlist of what I want to see in the remakes, but it was difficult to think of something that I wanted for the number 5 slot. So I decided to just talk about some missing calculus updates I'd like to see in the new games. The missing calculus stuff is at the bottom of the list because there's a lot of things that'd be nice to see, but they don't really improve the overall experience of the game by that much. Sure, I'd love to see some better graphics, or better animations that are more aligned with Pokemon Stadium or Battle Revolution. There's still 231 Pokemon missing from Sword and Shield, so maybe we could see some of, if not all of them, back too. Or perhaps we might finally see some better online battles. It'd be nice to be able to have some good battles without having to use the land mode in order to actually finish the battle. I think out of all these random little updates, I'd mainly just want to see all the rest of the Pokemon added. Sure, all the other missing calculus features would be nice and all, but I just want to be able to use Oshawott again, okay? The number 4 slot on my list is the introduction of some new Sinnoh variants. We've seen a bunch of Galarian variants and Alolan variants over the last couple games, and while I really love the concept, I haven't been a big fan of the ones we've had so far. So far there's been 18 regional variants introduced in the Alola region and 19 regional variants introduced in the Galar region, for a grand total of 37 variants so far. And out of all those variants, I only really like about 12 of them, which is a shame since I really love the concept behind them. It's just a personal preference though, and while I'm not a fan of the majority of them, I'm sure there's a bunch of people who like them. And even if I don't like some of the new Sinnoh ones, I'm sure there'll be a few of them that I actually do like too. Whether I like the design or not, it's always interesting seeing the inspiration behind all these regional variants. And I love coming up with new variants myself. Me and my friends played a bunch of Pokemon D&D during the first lockdown of the year, and during that time I came up with tons of regional variants to use in the campaign. I made them for all the regions, and even a couple of regions that me and my friends came up with too. I think altogether there was something like 100 variants or so that I managed to make during the first lockdown, though some of them are still unfinished. I'll definitely make some videos talking about all my variant ideas in more depth at some point, but for now I'll just show you one of the ones that me and my friend Steve have been working on recently. I'll go in more detail in the variants another time, but for now here's Sinnoh and Bulbasaur. I came up with variant ideas for all the starter Pokemon, and I decided to give all the Kanto starters the Sinnoh regional variant. I based them all on the Battle Zone. So the Squirtle line is based on the fight area, the Charmander line is based on the resort area, and finally the Bulbasaur line is based on the survival area. That's all I'm going to say for now though about my Sinnoh regional variants video, and I'll save the rest for another time. So let's get back on track with my number 3 most wanted hope for the Sinnoh remakes. Up next on my wish list is to see what Sinnoh can do with my favourite edition of Generation 8, the Wild Area and Raid Battles. I don't usually speak highly of Gen 8, but the Wild Area was a fantastic concept, and I really like how they tried to take the raid mechanic from Pokemon Go and implement it into the main series games. And with Sinnoh it'd be so easy to implement. The Great Marsh is just sitting right there in Pastoria City, waiting to be turned into a wild area. I wouldn't be surprised if they turned Mount Coronet into a wild area too, with how huge the place is. They could even convert the Pal Park into one, considering there isn't really a use for it now that Pokemon Home's being a thing. They could even implement it into the underground area. Imagine how cool it would be to be able to go around in an underground wild area, find Pokemon, fossils, and make a secret base down there too. Maybe you could even set raid bosses to guard your own base, so people would have to beat a raid in order to reach your secret base. I'd even be down for the survival area or the distortion world to be a wild area that you can explore as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they added some sort of DLC area into the game, like the Isle of Armor or Crown Tundra, which I wouldn't mind to be honest. As long as they only added new content and didn't lack anything that was already behind original games in DLC, like the Distortion World or the Battle Frontier. Speaking of the Battle Frontier, that's actually the next feature I want to talk about in this wishlist. Fans have been asking for the Battle Frontier to return for years, but we never quite get it unfortunately. We managed to have the Battle Tree in Gen 7 and the Battle Tower in Gen 8, but that's just one of the facilities the Frontier has, and I want to see all of them accessible. We got Blue Board in Gen 3 with the Frontier being under constructions, but I want to be able to access the Frontier this time around. I'd be especially interested to see what the remakes would do in terms of the timeline of the series, as the Battle Frontier serves as a huge connection from Gen 4 to Gen 5, with a Sinnoh Frontier Brains connection to a Unova Elite Four. The leader of the battle castle, Castle Valet Darak, is the butler for the Untitled Elite 4 member, Caitlin. So depending on whether or not she's there would determine roughly whether the remakes are set before or after Black and White. I'm going off topic again here, but bottom line is, I just really want to see the Battle Frontier back in action. The Battle Frontier arc was one of my favourites in the anime series, and I'd love to experience the Frontier again in the newer games. So what's the final feature that I want to see in Gen 4 remakes? Mega Evolutions. Out of all the new features that have been implemented in the last few gens, like Mega Evolution, Z-Moves and Dynamaxing, Mega Evolution is by far my favourite out of all of them. Even though I'd normally rather play online draft battles on my Switch on the latest game of the series, but with the absence of Megas and the awful timer system on Switch, I actually feel like I'd rather play on Showdown at the moment. Mega Evolution was introduced 7 years ago in X and Y. We still haven't had any new ones since 6 years ago in Auras. I was really hoping we get some new ones in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, or so that maybe all the gym leaders and the Elite 4 trainers would get their ace to have one. And while all the old Kanto ones were still obtainable, we sadly didn't get any new ones added to the series within those games. While it may be unlikely with how long it's been since we've had any new ones, I don't think I'm the only one who wants a Mega Evolution back, so I'm definitely hoping to see some new ones in the Sinnoh remakes. While I don't have as many Mega Evolution ideas as I have with regional variants, I still have a few of them, so I'll definitely make a video about it in the future. For now though, here's a preview of Mega Electivire. Huge thanks to my friend Steve for doing the artwork for this, and I'll definitely go into more details about its stats, typing and abilities in another video. So for now, let me know what other Mega Evolutions you want to see alongside Mega Electivire in the newer games. Alright then, I think that's enough from me from this video, so I hope you enjoyed it my dudes. If you did, please like, subscribe and leave a comment on what you're hoping to see in the eventual Sinnoh remakes that we're probably going to see at some point. If you want to see more live content from me, I play a bunch of games over on Twitch, like Pokemon Renegade Platinum with my friend Coney Boy, Mystery Dungeon Deluxe, For What Ends With You, and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Huge thanks again to Steve for the Mega Electivire and Sinnoh and Bulbasaur artwork, as well as the general pose artwork that I use in all of these videos. His Twitter and Patreon will be linked in the description below. Again, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching my dudes. Until next time, bye.